must be as you must be knowing, this session will be around automation testing, right? So before we deep dive into that thing, I have just a document ready. So let's start with a very simple question. Suppose that you today you there is a delivery of a new car that you are buying from a showroom. Suppose that is Audi, and then you went to the showroom, you took the delivery, everything went good, and then you took the vehicle out of the showroom to temple or anywhere back home. But then after traveling a kilometer or two, the car stopped, and then it never started. So what will be your next action? What will be doing in such condition? Any idea what you'll be doing in that case? You bought a new car, you got the delivery. While going back home, eventually the car stopped and it never started. Any guesses? Money, what will you do in this scenario?
Uh,
Pardon, what will you do?
we will the question was if the car was not starting, right?
Yeah, the car stopped and it never started. It was the
Then
first day of the car. You took a brand new car, Audi, that to a Audi. What you will be doing in that scenario?
we, we will give it in showroom.
Okay. What about you, Sophie? What will you do?
So, firstly, I will check whether it's in a condition to move forward or not.
No, no, no. It stopped and it
Firstly,
never started. I said
yeah,
the
yeah.
car.
First, I will check for everything.
Hmm?
Later, even though it's not at all starting, if there is a big error, means I will contact to that showroom.
Okay. So everything will be losing their temper. They will be calling the guy from the showroom, and then they will go to the showroom and like scold them and whatever you will shout, right? That's everyone. That's a normal thing to do, right? Because it's the very first day you have paid so much money, and eventually this is not you what you were expecting, correct?
Yes, sir.
The next question is, because in this case you have given some amount of money, definitely you will be using that car for a while. But then suppose you buy a next car sometime after some time, so will you be buying the car of the same company? Will you be doing that? What say, Sophie? Will you buy a car of the same company after getting such an experience?
Uh, I will dare to buy one more, sir. If it's going to happen again and again, means I'll never ever buy from that showroom.
Right. That's, it's not about the showroom, that company itself, right? You'll never buy a Audi
Okay,
again, right?
yes, sir. I will not buy from that showroom
True.
or from that company.
Yes. So eventually, that is true. No one's gonna buy the car of the same company if someone experience have such sort of a experience on the very first day of buying a car. But the problem here was that you have paid certain amount of money, right? So you are going to use it, but then eventually you will not be continuing as a prolonged customer to that company, right? So eventually, if you are not going to be a continued customer of that company, and your review will break more customers of the same company, right? So this is where the question comes in. What is testing and why do we need testing? So basically, whenever we if you are delivering any product, it can be any product, it can be a fridge, a TV, a car, or it can be a service like a sim card, or suppose gaming, it can be anything. So before delivering the product to the customer, you have to ensure that whatever functionality you say that product has, has to work the way you have told the customers to be. If that is not the case, you will not be gaining profit from that company, and eventually the company will stop, right? You are aligned with this fact, right? You get this point, correct? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So eventually, now let's take one more example. So, a very layman example. Suppose you want to you have like fabric, and you want to get yourself clothes made out of it. So you go to a tailor. What is the first thing that you do after he delivers the product to you? What is the first thing that you do? What is the first thing that you do after you get the clothes from the tailor stitched? You try that clothes, right?
Yes, sir.
So eventually, the very first step of any product is that you test it. So if you don't test it, and if the functionality what you have said, like suppose the car, if it is not working the way it should be, then eventually your company will go to loss, and eventually like die, the company will die. So that's why we have taken two examples. One, a big heavy amount you have paid to a car, and the second example was stitching a fabric, a cloth from a fabric by a normal tailor. So in both the cases you can see that eventually before delivering the product to the customer, there is a need of testing. If you do that thing, then only you ensure that the product will be functioning the way it should be at when you deliver it to the customer. So that's why it is very important, and this applies to everywhere. Like it can now let's take an example of Facebook. Say suppose you are using Facebook, but one of your friend or any random guy can use your Facebook and see all your messages. So in that case, will you be using Facebook as the way you do it now? Will you? Money, you'll be using Facebook if someone is able to see your messages
No,
without
sir.
your password. Pardon?
No, no.
No, right? So, but in this case, in the software world, you don't have to pay any money also, right? You for using Facebook, you don't pay any money. So the thing is, in that case, what will happen is the customer will just switch the application like in a second without even thinking. The customer will shift to another application. So testing becomes much more important in the software world, right? True or not? You're getting the point, guys, right? At
Yeah,
least
yeah.
speak up. You're getting the point, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So eventually, the thing is, in software world, testing has much more weightage as compared to the real products, because in software world you don't have to pay money to use that software. So getting rid of that particular application is just like a second thought. Within second the customer goes. So that's why the testing is much more important in the IT world or the software world. So with these two examples or three examples, we get to know that there is a in demand, always there will be a demand for a tester in software industry, because we need to ensure that whatever if it is an e-commerce website, the customer is able to buy the products, and like if he's paying the money, he should be able to get that product. Eventually, if it is a messaging website or a social media website, he should be able to post his photos or talk with friends, right? So eventually all the functionality that the website or the software provides, it should be working as expected. And in order to do that, there is a need of the testers in order to ensure that the product is working as expected. So with that said, I like there will be always this scope of having a tester in the IT company. So that is all about. Now let's come to this part. like there are basically two types of testing. Now before I jump into that, let's take a few example. Let me open the Facebook. My screen is shared, right? You're able to see my screen, right? Okay, let me share that. So now I have opened this particular Facebook. Now on this page, what what will be the tester doing? He will be testing that the title is written correctly. Then he will be testing that the logo is correct. It is in the right color. It is at the right position, and the spelling is correct. The title, this is the tagline. So tagline, like it's on the correct. The font is correct. The color is correct. The position is correct, and everything, no spelling errors. So and then these are the dynamic elements. So if you click here, you should be able to write anything that you want, the username or the phone number, anything. Then this, like if you type in here, you should be no, you should not be able to see it because it is confidential. But then if you click here, you should be able to see whatever you have written. If you again click here, you should not be able to see it. And if you click here and these two are correct, then you will be landed to a home page. If any of this is incorrect, then you will be getting an error message that this email does not exist or mobile number does not exist. So whatever I have like shown you here is I am doing it by myself. This type of testing is known as manual testing. The other way to do is with the help of automation. Automation is nothing but you use any tool or a machine in order to do the same thing. So there are two types of testing. One is manual, as I have shown you. The other one is automation. Let me show you that as well. So I have a code written here, which basically like opens the HDFC net banking website, and then in the username it sends this particular key that I am typing. So you can see I'm running the code now. So you can see that a new browser is launched, and then whatever value I have given in here is so with the help of a click of a button, this thing whatever is done with the help of a tool. So this is automation. Okay, any doubts still here? Any doubts?
No, sir.
So now let's get into more details of what advantages manual has and what disadvantages it has compared to the automation. So let's start with the disadvantages. Manual testing is laborious. So as I've shown you, you have to spend whole of your time on the website, like clicking the buttons on the keyboard, clicking the mouse, and checking if everything is working as expected. So this is the laborious thing to do. So this is the first point, that it is laborious. Second, it is time consuming. So it takes a time because as compared to automation, automation is very fast. It will do all of these things in just a very fast as compared to the manual. The third is human errors. Suppose you are sick today or you are not in a good mood, then eventually there is a chance that you'll make some errors, right? Human errors. So that is always there if you are doing manual. So these are few of the disadvantages of the manual testing. Then let's come to some advantages. Now suppose this has to be in red color, but now if you open it, you can see it in blue color. So you will no machine can no machine no machine can catch this particular error as fast as your eye can. So some errors are detected very fast by the humans. Suppose the color thing, it is in blue, but it has to be in red. Then no other machine can detect this as fast as your eye can. So this is one of the advantage. Like few of the things like human error can detect some errors very fast. Then there is no requirement of skilled labor. It doesn't mean that you do not require any skill in manual testing, but as compared to automation, your like the skill is somewhat less because you don't have to learn coding and you don't have to spend time learning code and stuff. So it is like less skilled, and then it is easy. it is your first day. Like I have showed you, I have showed you certain examples. Okay. I've shown you certain test cases that we are going to test on the Facebook website, and you are not a tester, but you eventually you got to know that yeah, this all the things that you need to test. So it's easy. It's not that difficult. If you know what is the functionality of that, but what is the functionality of that element, what it should be doing, and then if you have the website, you should be able to do it. So that's why it's like easy. And then now the automation, the advantages of automation is it is done with the help of the coding, so it is very fast, and then it reduces the chances of human errors to zero, almost zero, because machines do not make mistakes. But then what are the disadvantages? There will be always a requirement of high skilled labor, so he will be demanding more salary. He will be the initial investment will be high because you have to buy the machines or the tools, and then because it is a tool or a machine, there will be constant maintenance. You're getting this point? Any doubt on manual versus automation? Any doubts? Anyone?
No, sir.
Great. So this was the manual. So now the next question arises, sir, I don't want to do this automation because if it is manual, I am good to go. I don't have to learn coding and stuff. So I want to be a manual tester. But nowadays, like it's not that you don't have openings for manual, but now in the industry, if you want to be a tester, you have to know automation. So you have to know automation, because suppose why I'm telling you why. Suppose it takes months and months to build a particular software, right? It requires months and months to build a particular software. But then as you move ahead with making up the softwares, suppose let's take an example of the Amazon website. So what will happen is first you will build the first you will build the this login page. So you will first build the login page, then you will build this home page, then you will build this for example the products listing page, and then you will build the cart page, and then you will build the payments page. So eventually, like going forward, you will be building the software slowly by breaking it down into smaller chunks, right? So when you move forward, what happens is this is code, right? This all these things are made out of code. So even one everything is interlinked. So this particular code is linked to this page, this particular thing is linked to some other page. So anything can break any other thing. So suppose you say that in the first month you executed like 100 test cases, then in the next month again you have to do again you did the 100 test cases. So eventually after 2 months you have to execute 200 test cases, after 3 months you have to execute 300 test cases. So it becomes very cumbersome, it becomes very challenging. So that's where the automation comes in, because if you have automate the test cases, then on the click of a button you will be able to execute all those test cases. So you don't have to do it again, you just have to click one button and all those test cases will be automatically run with the help of the automation. That's why nowadays into the industry, if you want to be a tester, automation is must. So you cannot, it's like 100 out of 100 jobs, only one or two is purely from manual, 90 jobs comes from automation. But it's not that you have to do automation only. If you are an automation tester, you have to know manual testing also. So that's why we are going to focus in this particular course on the automation part, because it is mandatory and it will be the triggering point of getting a job into IT as a tester. So that's why the focus or the start of this particular syllabus will be from automation. Any doubts on this part, whatever I have discussed till now?
No, sir.
Any doubt? So now with that said that automation is mandatory, Now here comes the next question. We know that automation is going to be like with the help of code. Then the next question is, so why coding? I don't know coding. Why we need coding? So the reason for that is, suppose you want to like you want a French guy to do something for you. He will only be able to do the thing for you if you tell him the thing to do in his language. So suppose if he's a Japanese, and he you want him to drive the car for you, or you want him to bring food for you, eventually you have to tell him in the language he knows, right? Then only he'll be able to do that work for you, correct? True or not? So
Yes, sir.
similarly, similarly, if you want to do if you want computer to do anything for you, you have to tell the instructions in a language that computer knows, and computer only knows this language, right? Coding. That's why coding is important in order to do certain things. If you want certain things to be done with the help of the computers, so that's why coding is mandatory. Then the next question arises is, sir, there are so many programming languages. So which one we are going to learn, and why we should learn that? So the very simple answer to this is, everyone knows that Python is the Python is the most famous language these days. It's easy, and then it has like everything that needs to be have. So it's the best programming language present at this moment. But then still we are going to learn Java. The very simple reason for that is, if there are 100 jobs in automation testing, 85 to 90 jobs comes from Java. So if you learn Python, there is testing in Python also, but then you will be able to apply for only 10 jobs. But if you learn Java, you will be able to apply for 90 jobs. So that's why we are going to go with the Java. Clear? Clear? Then this is the roadmap of how we are going to complete the entire course. So the very first thing we'll be learning. The very first thing we'll be learning is to how to make the computer work for you. So how to give instructions to the computer, and then make him do certain things for you. So we are on the first initial 25 days. We'll be learning Java, and learning how to give instructions in the form of code to the computer, and then a return it will give you the results. Then we are going to learn Selenium. Selenium is a tool which is used to automate the websites. So any website, because like websites, so this is the tool which is used to automate the websites. So we in the next 20 days we'll be learning Selenium. So first 25 days we'll be working with Java, then the next 20 days we'll be working with Selenium, and then we'll be working with some frameworks. So frameworks are nothing but some additional tools that will be combining these two in order to get a industry standard, so that the thing is fast, and like it has much more details what we'll be covering in frameworks. So we are in the frameworks, we are going to deal with Maven, we are going to deal with page object model, we are going to deal with TestNG, we are going to deal with Cucumber, and much more. Then we also going to learn manual testing for 5 days. Then these are some additional tools that we are going to learn. So it's like Git, GitHub, and Jira. So these are all the tools, all the things that we are going to learn, and it will approximately take like 60 days to complete the entire syllabus. So any doubts still here?
No, sir.
So with that said, like, if you have any queries or questions. So basically this profile will be testing the softwares with the help of automation and manual. And then if you want to see the market, like what is the trend, so it starts with a minimum package of like 3 lakhs for a fresher, and it can go up to 50 lakhs as a manager in testing. So the scope is enormous. The salary packages are like lucrative, they are very high. based on the skills. And then if you want to see the openings, you can just log in into Naukri and check that at least every day 100 odd jobs are being posted for this particular job role, so for this particular profile testing. So it's evergreen, it's never gonna end, but then you have to have that skill. So the opportunities are enormous, it's easy as compared to development, and then it also have a high paying jobs. Clear? Clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you can start with your queries if you have any. So that's what the walkthrough of this session was, to brief you or to give you understanding of what the course is, what is the profile, how many jobs are there, and what is the scope. So I think I've covered it all. Now I'll open the floor for questions. So if you have any sort of questions to ask, you can go ahead. Anyone? Any doubts, any questions, anything? No questions? Fine then. That was all from my end. Thank you guys.